Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth. I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. And this, my darlings, is our daily pulse for Monday, the 27th of April. We missed Sunday. We only missed Sunday being tiny because we were chilling and relaxing. But those of you that were here on Saturday will recognise. I know why I laughed when I saw these cards. We will start with the card at the base of the reading before moving on to what is facing us, what's hidden from us, and our blessing. And of course, we'll look at our key message first of all. Now, I just wanted to say actually, Aries and Leo, I have actually recorded, you're very lucky because I always start with the fire signs. I have actually recorded your individual signs for the sun, moon and stars reading, you know, the in-depth reading that I do. And that's going to be for May into June. I've recorded those, and I was in shock at how amazing those readings are. The intros are a little bit long, actually. There's about 2 minutes of intro on there, but so just skip it if you want to. But yeah, I will upload those today, probably 8 p.m. You know, so in a few hours. They're already done anyway. They're already recorded. The rest of the star signs, the rest of the all of us, including Leo, Aries, and Leo. What happened is I recorded them, and I thought, and then I got a bit. I thought, do you know what? How helpful are these readings going to be right now for people? You know, I want to look a little bit. I'm just going to say I want to look a little bit deeper. I want to look a little bit further, and give us a little bit more perspective of sort of the time period that we're facing now. As I say that, my ear starts ringing. I want to give us all a bit more perspective now. So we will all be getting readings. Hopefully I'll get them finished this week. You know, I like to upload all 12 at once. So if I don't get them finished this week, they will definitely be up for it next week, okay? But you're all getting them, and I'm looking forward to you seeing, and hopefully you enjoy them. Okay, so let's get started on today's message. And the word perspective is significant because we have the world card at the base of our reading yet again. Now, we spoke about this card on Saturday. You can see Saturday's reading. The previous readings are always linked below, by the way. Now, we spoke about the world card and the perspective of this energy, the perspective that this card gives us. And just as we look now, we've also got 1, 2, 3, haven't we? We've also got 1, 2, 3 here. So we know that we are, you know, taking steps this week. We're making progress along our spiritual paths, along our life paths, along with our higher learning. We are gaining enlightenment and we are growing, and this world card just perfectly illustrates that. The world card is the energy, really. It's the last card in the major arcana, so it's the end of the learning, if you will. We've reached the point where we've learned everything that we need to in this particular cycle that we've been currently facing, and we get to see from above. So I said it, I likened it to seeing a racetrack, you know, a racetrack from high above the world card is. And that racetrack that you see is like, you have the perspective of, you can see everything that you've been through. You're able to sort of process, really, with this energy, all the things that have been coming towards you over the last sort of 3 months, all the learning and all the wisdom that you've gained. And what we know that comes after the world card, obviously, is the Fool card, which is the beginning of a new journey. And we start with a number 1 here, number 10. So we are getting to a beginning of a journey here, a new start. Our new energy is being brought in with the Wheel of Fortune, which is number 10. Now, this is where we have, because it's a portal number, see, it isn't strictly 1, it's 1 and 0, isn't it? So it's a portal number. And what that means, a portal number means, is that we've got 1 foot in the present, i.e., wow, man, look at where we've been, like, look at everything that we've achieved, look at everything that I've learned, look at everything that's gone on, how I've handled it. And we've also got 1 foot in the future, which is, okay, what's going to come next? You know, there's opportunities now to move forward. I have learned this, as hard as it was, I've learned it. Where am I going next? Where we're moving forward? And this energy obviously is brought in with the Wheel of Fortune. It's the number, the energy, really, the card, and the vibration of change. That's what it relates to. And the reason that we turn the wheel, the reason that the reason that change is now being brought in is because we have been able to release the energy and the work that we have been doing, noticing our awareness, engaging with our awareness, having these type of conversations, you know, meditating, noticing our intuitive and our instinctive responses, noticing what we're doing. All these things that we do, it's energy. It's energy. And remember, energy doesn't disappear. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't disappear. It's never destroyed. It's always changed. And all that energy now that you've already put in has created this change, has created this movement. And we move on further to the number 2 now. So our key message is the Wheel of Fortune, which is change is coming in, and change is coming in, that one, that we're ready for, and 2, that we have actually brought about this change simply by engaging with our awareness, simply by engaging with our experiences, simply by engaging with our reality. We have, and our suffering, you know, and all those things, we have changed that wheel. We have created opportunities, and that's what this energy really talks about. It's the 2 of Wands, and it talks about that creation of opportunities, the whole world in our hands. You know, we're seeing these, again, synchronicities are abound, as we said, from Saturday, and that energy will stay with us. Even though I call these readings daily pulses, and we're looking at the energy of that day, and that's what we should be mindful of. You know, these energies stay with us. It's not just one day. And so even yesterday when I was meditating before bedtime, I was like, yeah, man, the world card, man. I was still there with the world energy. So when I turned this over, I laughed because I thought, yeah, we're still in that energy. And so we, as I said, we continue in those daily pulse energies, and those synchronicities that we spoke about on Saturday, they're going to be continuing for us, and they continue here. We're in this, we see that with these 3 cards that we see so far. We've created this opportunity now with the 2 of Wands. Now, the 2 of Wands is, the reason we refer to it as an opportunity is it's because a commitment. So number 2s are about commitments, they're about partnerships, they're about duality, they're about balance. And in this instance, it's about because we've committed our energy. So key is about our chi, our key, our life force, the force that literally moves us and animates us as well. If we've ever felt excitement, anticipation, trepidation, they're all, if we've ever been looking forward to something, for example, all those type of energies, that is key energy. That is wand energy here that we see depicted. And when we have this 2 of Cups, it's the fact that we've been committed to noticing our instinctual responses, to reacting to those, to releasing things, to engaging with that. Because we've been able to do that, we've committed to ourselves, and that creates opportunity. It opens the path for us, and that's what we see here with this energy. So it means that we're going forward. You know, we're on the threshold, aren't we? The opportunity is there for us. We're on that threshold, and we're able to step beyond this now. We're able to, the world is all right. So, okay, remember, number 3 is about manifestation. We receive because we release. Okay, so we get new experiences, we attract new experiences because we've been able to release the old, and we've been able to notice how we were responding. We've been able to notice the things that we've been holding on to. We've been able to come out of those areas, and now the opportunity is open for us to go toward new experiences. And that's really what this energy represents as well. Ones that we're passionate about, ones that help us to feel more, ones that help us to respond more, ones that help us to be more engaged with our divine feminine, as I always talk about. So we have this energy here, repeated. So let's now look at what's hidden. So I've not seen this, as I said, I see what you see, and they're turning the camera on. So let's have a look at what is hidden from us today. And we've got another number 2. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and now we get another 2, innit? We get the 2 of Swords. I've spoken about the number 2, the commitments, but this is sword energy, remember, okay? This is sword energy. So this is about our conscious mind. This is about our active engagement with our logic, our reason, it's ego self, really. This is divine feminine, this is divine masculine, of the same sort of vibrational energy. And what that means is that divine feminine is, as I said, it's our divine feminine is everything that's non-physical about us. It's our instincts, and it's our feelings, and it's our instinctual responses, if you will. And those come from the divine feminine, the wisest part of ourselves, the thing that we are the things that that we should notice and we should pay attention to. That's what the wand energy relates to. The sword energy is about our awareness and about our ego self. And what that means is it's about as I said, our active engagement. So it's us thinking about things, us reasoning, us applying our logic, us trying to communicate, if you will, consciously, clearly, having conscious and clear communications with ourselves. That's what this sword energy represents. And so there's a commitment, yes, to, you know, to following our feeling, to keep going with the flow, to keep responding with the Two of Wands. But then with the Two of Swords, what's hidden is I suppose the lag almost that comes with our divine masculine self, with our conscious self, with our reason, because sometimes, you know, we want to do things and we feel urged to do things. We want to confront something, and we want to have that conversation, or we want to dive into that wounding, and we feel drawn to. We're overwhelmed emotionally potentially, or we might be have been trying to ignore the synchronicities, or we might be trying to ignore the urge to meditate, but we feel the urge, and we go toward. That's what the wand energy. With the sword energy, what lags behind, because it's our conscious mind, is like, am I ready for this? Like, is this where I need to be? Do you know what? I'm all right now. I'm all right where I'm at. I'm all right thinking what I'm thinking. I'm all right thinking that I'm making the decisions. I'm all right thinking that I'm in control in that way. I'm okay. I don't want to have to feel. I don't want to have to engage. That's what this card can represent. It's like being committed to a way of thinking. You know, I speak about this card, I speak about the Two of Swords always when I speak about the Seven of Swords, the normalcy bias. And it's almost like this. It's like, you know, there's a decision that we've made, there's a decision that needs to be made, there's maybe action that we need to take or action that we want to take, but we're telling ourselves, do you know what, it's all right though. I don't need to, even though I know what needs to be done, even though I know what should be done. As I'm saying this, it's dawning on me how this is purposely linked to me personally. Anyway, even though I know what needs to be done, even though I know I understand what should be done, even though I feel that this is the direction to go in, I'm just still going to stay sitting here doing what I've been doing. I'm going to staying here doing what I've been thinking. That's what this energy is. And that's what's hidden from us today. So we you know, notice that pull to move. I mean, for me, when I said to you guys, you know, I'm doing your in-depth readings, you know, it's a huge undertaking to look at the expanse of time that I'm going to look at for you guys in depth for each individual star sign. So I'm kind of like psyching myself up, even though I know I'm in this energy where I know, you know, it's the right time to do it now. I know that it was an inspired, if you will, moment when I had that feeling of, okay, yeah, this is the right type of readings that need to be done. This is what's needed now. These are the messages needed now for the individual signs. You know, so I've got that, so I know and I can see and understand the significance of them, and I can see that it was inspired. However, I'm also like, yeah, but you know, I can start them tomorrow, man. Like, I don't really need to like start them today, do I? Like, you know, I could. That's me. I'm doing it. So I started. I'm already doing it myself. I'm like, do I really have to do it today? Yeah, well. I'm often I feel the push to move because I wait for the wand energy to move me. I try not to get involved mentally when it comes to doing readings. I try not to second guess the inspiration. So that's an example really of direct how it's directly affecting me now, this energy. And it'll be similar. Well, I don't know what you're doing in your life, but you know what I mean. That similar type of thing. Okay, so we'll move on finally to our blessing, darlings. You know, where can we find our blessing today? Let's have a look, and we have got the Nine of Wands. So we have a repeat, don't we? We have a repeat of the number 9 as well here. So we saw most of these cards on Saturday actually, and because this one was hidden, wasn't it? This one was beneath the base cards, and I think anyway. You watched it, or go back and have a look at it, the link below. Anyway, so we've got with the blessing of the Nine of Wands. So what did we say about the number 9? We talked a lot about the 9th house last week, the 9th house, dreams, synchronicities, religion, philosophy, higher learning, etc. So we spoke about these and it's Jupiter as well, and fire and Sag. So we know that that's really about our ability to have these breakthroughs, if you will, these mental breakthroughs, and that these things can really change our perspective about things with the number 9. And that's really what we see here with the 9th of Wands, the for shorthand, the PTSD card, the post-traumatic stress card. You know, we've been traumatized previously, you know, like me, as I said, the example that I gave you, you know, I know how tiring and how exhausting and how draining it is to work the way that I know is needed now. Yeah, so to do my dailies, but to also produce these readings for everybody. I know, and the sort of the sort of the terror, the terror that I am nervous, because I'm nervous because I know how drained I will be after doing the readings, and I know the sort of the energy, the toll that it takes on me, and I suppose that has, for me personally, it has created these walls. As I said, there's these previous experiences that I've had that I remember, that my body remembers, even if my mind doesn't remember them. I'm like, do you know what? I'm fine. I'm past it. I know that we've had Kundalini awakening since then. Like, I know that I can, I'll be all right. I'm telling myself that I should do it. I should do it. I should do it. But the feeling, like my body, the memory within my body, the memory of that energy, this is what this card represents: the energy of the trauma, the previous trauma that I've experienced. I mean, I'm being dramatic by calling it trauma, but it is trauma in a sense, because but just what I mean by trauma is it just leaves an impact. It has an impact. It leaves an energetic impact on us. That's really what I mean by trauma, and that's really what the type of trauma that this card talks about, really. The sort of how it felt then, remembering now how it felt then, with the same energy, even though we're in a different place. But we do it with our eyes open. So I would not be surprised if we see by Tuesday or Wednesday the 10 of Wands, because we do it with our eyes open, and so this is where we start to look and to notice the trauma, or that feeling, or that impact, or that memory, that energetic memory, the energetic imprint of the previous, which is what this card basically represents. And it's about recognizing, knowing, because we're engaging with our high learning with this card, so it's about recognizing and knowing that by facing these, by taking the blindfold off, by looking at that not necessarily fear, but that feeling that exists, yeah, by recognizing that, by feeling it, by noticing it, what we do is we learn more, really. We become more mindful. We become more we sort of start to connect the thoughts of the past, if you will, the thoughts, what was going on in my head, or what I thought about in the past. We connect that with how we feel, the physical, not the emotional side of it, but the actual energetic impact of that experience. And we start to learn how those two things affect me now. So we start to, with the 9 of Wands, what we learn is, the pain of the past, or the struggle of the past, or the hurt of the past, how I think about that past. But we feel, with the 9 of Wands, we feel, how does that feel now, today, as I sit here? How are those two things impacting on me? And so what it does is it helps us to face up to things. It helps us to realize, to make realizations, and to learn that how these old things have hurt us, how these whole things have affected us. And the reason I say I would not be surprised to see the 10 of Swords, or the 10 of Wands by Wednesday, is because what we do with the 10 of with the number 9, we're feeling it. So me, I'm noticing it today. I've said, you know what? Yeah, I know what's coming. I know what I need to do this week. I know that that I want to, and it's right to, and it's the time to complete this next set of work for everybody. I understand that, but I know that it's going to be, but wow, I can't believe that it still hurts. Like, I can't believe that I'm still physically remembering that sort of strain, and that pain, and that tiredness. I can't believe I'm still physically remembering that. Wow, that's what I'm feeling today, and that's what you're feeling today for yourself, for what your example might be. But when we see the 10, we say, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, the pain's here. Yeah, man, it's tiring, but I'm gonna do it. And what we do is we walk into that pain. We walk into, not pain, because it's not real pain. It's almost phantom pain with this. It's because it's already happened, right? It's already happened. So the events that created these walls, the events that created the trauma have already occurred. They've already taken place. But now my body still remembers them. So what I need to do, what I need to learn to do, is to realize that I can walk now, I can move now, I can continue now, and I might remember the pain, but the pain is past. The pain is over. You know, that time is past, that time is over, the trauma has already happened. So and it's hard to, as you can tell, I'm sort of struggling to explain it, because it's a very real feeling that I've experienced before now, and I'm experiencing now. It's like the motto of 2020. Like I said, right in December, on my Instagram, I said 2020 is the year of feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what this card really represents. Feel the pain. Well, this card represents feel the fear, and 10 of Wands represents and do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like that. It's like feel the fear and do it anyway. So today we might be just feeling the fear. Today we might be just noticing the pain. Today we might be just noticing the impact of the old. As I said, we're no longer there. You know, that's what when I had post-traumatic stress I was undiagnosed for 10 years, and then I went through, I started meditation, and I, at the same time, in conjunction with CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And what the beauty of meditation was, and then speaking about my meditations, because that's what I do. I go every week and just talk to my to my counsellor, Ramsha, about what I'd seen in meditation, what I'd experienced in meditation, and what I learned when I was meditating. Because what I would do is I would think about the trauma. So I'd tackle one trauma at a time, if you will. So one of the things that I was feeling, or one of the things that I was scared of looking at, I would look at that. So today I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look at this thing, and I would be in meditation, and I would bring. So I'd bring that memory to my mind, and I'd conjure everything that I could about that memory. So, what I could see on that day, like, what the words I could hear, or the temperature, everything I could conjure, I'd bring it all into the front of my mind. And then I would obviously look at how I felt, and I'd be, and some of the traumas, obviously I'm scared, and I'm crying, and I'm a child or whatever, and I would look at it, and I would be in that moment as a child, if you will, in meditation. And I would be at that moment, and I would put myself in that room or in that situation, and I would feel that energy, and I would feel it, and I'd let it all come in. And if I cried, I cried, and I'd be lying there sometimes for 9 hours a day, sometimes 12 hours a day. Obviously, I was a teacher at the time, English teacher, but I wasn't going to school at the time, obviously. So, because I was off ill, obviously. So I would lie there sometimes for 9 hours, sometimes for 12 hours, sometimes for 5 hours, every single day. I did this for 6 months, really. And I would let all that pain come, and I'd let myself remember the pain, and feel the fear, and feel it all, feeling these traumas, looking at it. That's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what this is what meditation's for. This is what meditation is for. This is what I do in meditation, and this is why I no longer have PTSD or depression or anxiety, because I did this. But as I said, I would do the meditations, and then I would talk about them to my therapist. Anyway, I'd let the fear come, I'd feel it. And then I would tell myself, after I'd felt it all, as I said, hours, I'd remember it all, I'd feel it all, I'd cry about it. I'd think about, I'd make all these links to, because that happened, and that's why I did this, and that's why I did that, and that's why I behaved like that. And I would have these sort of realization after realization after realization. And then I would tell myself, but it's already happened, Ruth. But you're no longer in that moment, Ruth. But you're no longer a child, Ruth. And I would feel such a release. I would feel so like, oh my gosh, of course I'm no longer there. Of course. And it seems obvious, I'm now 30 odd, I'm not, however age I was when these traumas were going on or when the thing. And it seems really obvious, but until you look at it, until you examine it, until you face the traumas, until you look at the pain, until you look at, this is how I felt then, this is how it made me feel, this is the impact it has. Until you look at it, you can't do the 10, can you? You can't face it. You can't walk through it all. You can't continue. You can't bring about those changes. You can't release. So I had to look at it. So today we're feeling the fear. That's what this energy represents. It represents feeling the fear. So for me, that's for me. Even this is why I love these readings. In this reading, doing this reading for you guys, live and direct, I've just had a breakthrough where I realize and know, and I'm conscious of the pain of the previous, the pain of, the sort of the pain and the strain and the trauma of working the way that I must work now, which is doing the dailies plus doing this extended in-depth reading for each of the zodiac signs. I am feeling the fear of that. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to engage with that fear. I'm going to learn about, okay, how, remember, because this is our higher learning, and our higher learning is our crown chakra, really. But we are, with this energy, I'm learning to look at it. I'm learning to feel that fear. I'm learning to remember remember it, and understand that there's an aversion. There's an avoidance. I want to avoid, doing the readings now, because I'm like, oh my god, it's going to hurt me, man. It's going to be painful, man. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. But yeah, it's part of, it's part of it. It's part of my development as a Reiki master, as a healer, as a tarot reader, my own personal spiritual journey. So as I said, in everything that I do, in everything that we do, we serve ourselves. So yeah, I don't do the 12. I mean, I do the 12 readings for you guys. I do your individual star sign readings for you guys. But I don't think, oh my god, like it's such a drag, I have to do this. No, I love to do it and want to do it, because as I said, I have breakthroughs like this. I learn more and more and more about myself, about the world, about our realities, about how we're all connected, about compassion, about all these things, and about the power that we actually have. That what I learned so much about how powerful I am, and how powerful and by definition how powerful we all are as individuals, because of the work that I do, if that makes sense. So today we're feeling the fear, as I said. So by Wednesday, I'll be very shocked if we don't see the 10 of Wands this week, because we're facing the fear. So just imagine, well, this is the 10, yeah. So we've got the 9 and the 10 here. Face the fear, do it anyway. Some of you will do it anyway today. So I might sit down. I probably will actually. I'll probably sit down later and record, the first sort of chunk of the readings. Maybe I might not, but I probably will. But it's feel the fear today and do it anyway. Feel the fear, do it anyway. So some of you might just be on the feeling the fear part of it, and that's absolutely fine. And have those realizations, and I talk about meditation an awful lot, and really because it's what I do. It's what I do every single day since that time. So I did that. I started meditating. I'd never meditated before, really, before the time that I described to you guys back in 2013. That was when my nana passed away. This is my nana. This is 114. I've showed you this before. This is, she Nigeria, and this is the funeral sort of. Obviously we couldn't go, but this is the funeral service, if you will. And this is my nana, Mama Ruth. Now, obviously, I'm named after my nana, Ruth, as you can imagine. And look, she was born in 1899. 1899, yeah. And she passed away in 2013. And it was at this point when she passed away, I literally just sort of crumbled. Like I literally just had I call it a nervous breakdown. My doctor at the time called it an episode, which always made me laugh. And it was at the time when she passed away that my sister, she said to me, my friend said to me, oh, listen, it was a Sunday and I was still living with my ex-partner at that point. And my friend rang me and said, listen, you're not well. My teacher friend, he said, listen, go to the doctors in the morning. Forget coming back, forget school, go to the doctors. So I went to the doctors in the morning and I said, that's it, I'm done, I can't, blah, blah, blah. She was brilliant. I just walked, I rang up that day, booked an appointment, went to the appointment, and I was there for about an hour. She was amazing, just a GP, a GP at my local doctor's surgery. And they, at that point, they said, right, okay, we're going to refer you for CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy. And I spoke to my sister that week, and she said to me, have you ever tried meditation? I said, no, I haven't. She said, just do it. And I didn't. And if you've ever had any sort of, and I'm sure some of you will have had any sort of anxiety or anything like that, you know that your brain does not work. So you can't pick up a book and read it. You can't sit in front of the television and watch and follow a program. Your brain is all over the place when you go through that type of intense mental breakdown that I had, or when you have mental health, when you actually have a mental health diagnosable mental health condition like I did, your brain is not, you're not clear like you are normally. So I couldn't research meditation. I couldn't go out and find a book on meditation. So I just thought, literally, she said, have you ever tried meditation? I said, no. She said, just try it. She said, just try it. But I didn't know how to do it. So I just laid, I said, all right, then I'll try it. So I laid on my bed and I closed my eyes and I relaxed myself. I said, right, in my head, I said to myself, whatever it is I need to face, whatever it is I need to feel, whatever it is I need to remember, whatever it is I have to confront to feel better, I'm there. I said, universe, I probably said God at the time, God, show me that. I said, whatever it is, I'm willing to look at it, because I'm not going through my life feeling like this anymore. Whatever I need to see, whatever I need to feel, whatever I need to face, bring it. That's what this card represents. That's what I did. That's how I started meditation. And the first thing that came, so obviously the first things that come was about my nana, because she just died, obviously. And I was connected to her. And she died, and that was it. And what came through that day, the first time I meditated, I think I probably meditated for about 6, 7, 8 hours that first day. And I was just thinking and seeing and remembering and looking. And by the end of the pain of it, so Nana's gone, and who's going to be here for me, and and who's going to... After I'd seen it, the pain, I felt the pain, I confronted it all. What came through was, I'm going to cry now. I would not have left you if you were not ready. I would not have left you if you were not ready. That was the first day, and yeah, it might have been 8 hours. It might have been 8 hours. Oh, let me give you a kiss, Nana. I'll leave this. This is always, when I turn the camera off, I take these two things away, and I take everything away, and Nana sits here. And every day I pick her up and I give her a kiss. That's why I keep it here. Oh, anyway, oh my word. Because when I went to Nigeria to visit my Nana, and I took all the pictures on my phone, obviously, my iPhone, and then that was back in 2010 though. And then I lost all my photographs, so that was obviously very sad. But anyway, so I've got that's why I keep the program. And it's nice to look through sometimes, to look at the prayers and look at the songs and the hymns, etc. So it's nice to have. Anyway, so that was the first time. Can you imagine having that type of experience the first time I meditated? And that's why I say meditation changed my life. Reiki, then I did Reiki the year later. I started the Reiki in 2015, January, and qualified. And, so it was a very, literally changed my life. Within a year of my nana passing away, I finished I quit my job at my school. They were brilliant, actually. You know, ended my relationship, my current relationship. I had been with him for just under 6 years, or like 2 weeks off 6 years. And I moved into my own house. I took the dog. Me and Tiny just moved in. So that's all what happened after that. So I think facing up, this is why it's a blessing, facing everything, you know, looking at everything, looking at the trauma, looking at the pain. We're doing that today, but know that there's a blessing there, because what you realize and what you see is I wouldn't be looking at this now if I wasn't ready. That's what you learn, even though it's painful. And you also learn that I'm no longer in that time period anymore. It's already happened. So it is a blessing, the Nine of Wands. I always say to you guys, when I see the number nines, I celebrate, even the Nine of Swords, because that's awareness coming through. That's clarity coming through. That's seeing things, knowing things, getting that information. And that's why it is a blessing. Okay, I'm gonna, that was what a beautiful reading that was. I'm gonna give yourself a compliment there. Well, not me. I'm giving a shout out to Mama Ruth. I'm giving a shout out to Mama Ruth here. She's here today, aren't you, Nana? I love you. I love you. See, me Nana's here today. We've got Macau Yasui in the house. He's here. We've got Macau Yasui. We've got Tiny. Come on, Tiny. Say hello. We got Tiny in the household. I think that's why we made it such a beautiful reading. You have a good day, guys, okay? We know that there's blessings. Yes, isn't there, Tiny? Tell them. We know that there's blessings in all of the things that happen in our life, because they teach us so much about love, about compassion, about healing, about acceptance, about our personal power, about our ability to make changes, or about who we really are, about what we're. I didn't see myself until after my Nana passed away. I didn't see myself until I started the meditation, and until I started to look at the trauma. It was only after this point in 2014 that my Nana, that I was diagnosed with PTSD. I was a victim, like many people out there, I was a victim of sexual assault by my friend. So he raped me, and that was obviously a very traumatic experience to go through. And it's such a strange thing to actually look at those things. And it was 10 years previous, so it was in 2004, just as I finished university. And the trauma of that experience, I had some counselling at the time, but you know, you kind of go through the motions, whatever. But you still live, you know. So I became a teacher in that time, and I finished university, became a teacher, like had a career as a teacher, but still lived with all that trauma. And now, you know, this is why when I speak to you guys about things and I say, oh, blessings and everything, there's blessings and everything, I say it because I've been there. Yeah, I've been there, mate. I've been there. I felt that fear, man. I were broken. And look at me now. I always thought, oh my God, I'm never gonna be all right. I'm never gonna be able to get over it. I'm always gonna be traumatized. I'm always gonna be like, you know, feel like a victim. I'm always going to feel afraid of men, or I'm always, who can I trust? You go through all that. But what you do, and what this helped me to do, and what meditation helped me to do, actually, truthfully, it was meditation, was face it. And the way I meditate was to just look at it all, to feel it all, and then be able to have those realizations of, but that was then. And also, I can overcome this. I can look at this, and looking at understanding how it affects you, and understanding, you know, it's a real interesting thing. And that's why meditation, I will, till the cows come home, I'll be singing the praises of meditation, mindfulness meditation, Reiki and tarot. I mean, I'll be singing the praises of those things. So today, we might be feeling the fear, we might be feeling the fear today, but we're looking at it, we're facing it. And just know, in those moments when I used to collect the collective consciousness. So in those moments when I would think about, you know, my nana's gone, or the bereavement, or, you know, the assault, or everything that happened, all that stuff, in that moment when I'm facing it, when I'm looking at it, I would connect with the collective consciousness. I would tell myself in my head, again, I'm in meditation, I would go, okay, this has happened to so many people since the beginning of time. So all that energy that got those people through, come on, bring it. And that's what I would do. I would literally go to I'd be like, come on, I know that because I know that energy doesn't go anywhere. Even then, I knew that energy, I knew there was a collective consciousness. You know, at this point, I'm going with meditation every day. And I would connect with this energy of, but these people have already done it. All these people have spent all these time, all this energy getting over this or facing this same thing that you faced. And that energy ain't gone. It's here for me now in this moment of meditation. And I just used to vibe in that energy, and it helped me so much. So I know we went deep there. We went deep there, didn't we? We went deep there. Look at him. We went deep there in that reading, but it's time to go. It's time to leave you. Thank you so much for the blessing of Daily Pulses. Thank you so much for being here with me every day. Those people that come every day, I really appreciate you. And thank you for that beautiful reading. I really liked it. Okay, have a lovely day, my darlings. Take care. Bye.